So today I want to talk about creating leverage. This was one of the big lessons that I learned along the way. One of the most important things that we need to realize that we need to do in our business is we need to bridge the gap between where people are now versus where they want to be. And so you're on this journey. And if you're already moving forward on this journey, you are a step ahead of other people. And the question is, where is it that you started versus where you are now? And then uncovering that for other people on where they are now versus where they want to be. So, a really big part of this journey is solving problems for those people. So, we have to uncover where they are now, what kind of problems and roadblocks are they running into, and where is it that they want to be, and how can you help create solutions in in terms of building your business that way, right? So creating solutions for your audience so that you can help them add value, build relationships, all of the things, right? That's the ultimate goal. Is we have to bridge that gap so that we can start building those relationships and moving forward with things, right? And that's where our social media content comes in. That's where our lead magnets come in. That's where, our voice comes in, and podcasts and YouTube and all of the things. That's where that part of it comes in. Is it really helps bridge that gap to find the people that you can relate to and help them, see how they can be where you are now, right? So I have 3 tips for you today as we go through and start talking about leverage. Because one of the big things that you need to do is create an infrastructure in your business. It's not enough to just post on social media. Just putting social media posts out there, your posts are so short lived. So you're not going to really gain a whole lot of traction by just simply posting. You have to create a form of an infrastructure in your business. And there's so many different ways that you can go about doing it. But ultimately, you just need to have a system and an infrastructure in your business. So I have 3 tips for you to talk to you about how you can go about putting this together and how you can go about doing this. One of the very first things that you can do in terms of building your business is get your audience off of social media. You may have heard this before, but if you haven't, I want to make sure you understand why this is so important. When it comes to, building your audience, you do really need to make a list, but it's not a handwritten list of your friends and family that you can nag until they're until they, run away from you, right? Like that's not the proper list. The proper type of list is an email list. And you build that email list so that you can create value and offer value, and you can really build those relationships with the audience members that join you, that choose to follow you. Okay, you're able to add extra value. You're able to let them see who you are, let them see what you can help them with, and help bridge that gap from where they are now versus where they want to be. Okay, so that's why an email list is so incredibly important. And you do this primarily by creating a form of a lead magnet. And a lead magnet is basically any form of value. It can be in video form, it can be PDF form, it can be a single page, it can be 10 pages, it can be, a couple of YouTube classes that you put together. There's so many different ways that you can go about putting together a lead magnet, but a lead magnet is basically a trade-off. It's a piece of value where you put together something valuable for your audience members that they can connect to, and they opt in. They choose to give you their email and trade for this opt-in. You can do it manually, or you can create systems with automation and that type of thing as well. That's kind of the next level stuff. But ultimately, you need some form of trade so if they are willing to give you their email. And then what's nice about this is you're able to build your list one to many as opposed to one to one in the DMs. And I'm not saying DMs are bad. I love DMing people and I love chatting with people and getting to know my audience. But if you have 100 people and you're trying to build relationships with 100 people or 1,000 people or even 5,000 people as you continue to grow, think about the time involved if you're doing that only in the DMs. This is the power of email marketing and why it's so important to create your list in email marketing. It really helps you gain that leverage. Okay. Again, that's what we're talking about today, is gaining leverage. That's why it's so important. So, number one, you have to get them off of social media. So I've discussed that part of it, but why are you getting them off of social media? So you're building a relationship one to many as opposed to one in your DMs, which you can still definitely do, but you get to now create, relationships with more people doing it this way. Number two, your social media content is so short lived. You could spend 2 hours putting together the perfect reel or the perfect post with the most valuable information. And maybe it'll even go viral just a little bit. But on average, your post is only going to be good and seen by your audience anywhere from just a few hours up to maybe a day or two. And that's it. That content's gone, right? It starts to move back in the feed. People aren't going to see it as much. So that content is very, very short lived as we're just creating posts, right? So it's really important to find ways and gain that leverage with your social media content by doing things in a different way, as opposed to just relying on social media and just the posts that you're putting together. Now, you can do this in so many different ways. But ultimately, having a platform where you can create a blog or you can have a website or even doing a podcast, YouTube, that type of thing, it allows you to create a ton of leverage with your content. So now you can take that piece of content that you just spent a lot of time on and you can put it on your blog. You can create a video with it. You can move it to different places and you can still put it on social media where it can be seen. But now that content lives on, right? So you've got that piece of content that you can use again. It can be placed in multiple different areas and it's something that can continue to live on and it doesn't die out after 24 hours. Okay. So that's a really important piece when it comes to understanding why social media is so short-lived and why just relying on your social media content posts is just not the greatest idea. Not only that, we've already talked about my story and understanding what happened to me last year, right? You don't own your social media. You don't own Facebook or Instagram. If they have a major glitch or if they shut down or if you get hacked, your content's gone. Your content's just gone. But a platform like YouTube, like you own those videos, you can repurpose and put those videos back onto YouTube, right? You have, if you have a blog or a website, you own that content. That's content that you still have. So should something happen where Facebook shuts down and a new platform comes around, or if you get hacked like I did last year, you now still have your content and you still have your email list, the two most important pieces of your business. What you create in terms of your offers and your website and your blog, that part of it, as well as your email list. Those are your two most important and valuable assets in your business. And that's where your time should be spent in terms of content, is creating content for your email list and on like your blog or your website where you can repurpose that and share that on your social media. Social media is just a way to find audience members, right? It's not necessarily it's not a strategy in terms of building a business because it's very short-lived in terms of what you're going to see there. All right. So that's tip number one. Actually, it's tip number one and number two, because getting them off of social media and then creating this on a more stable platform where you can repurpose your content. That's tip number two. And then number three, when the time comes, creating offers for your audience. So lead magnets are fantastic, but they don't add to your bank account. They can build your audience. They can help get you eyeballs. They can help allow you to build that value with your audience. They can build those relationships and, build your email list, all the things, right? But they don't add to your bank account. So over time, as you start putting together your infrastructure, what's beautiful about all of this is you can now start creating offers, and it does not have to be complicated. An offer can be a series of videos that offer value, tutorials, or how-tos, walk them through a process, whatever whatever the case may be, as far as what fits into your niche and your brand. But as you start creating offers, you can start having the cost of your advertising covered by your offers. You can start growing your bank account. You can start thinking outside of just your network marketing company so that your income is coming from more areas instead of just your network marketing company. So that's one of the most important things that I want my team members when they come in. I really want them to look at multiple avenues of income. I don't want them to obsess about the network marketing company and obsess about the sale with my network marketing company, because that's when it starts to feel spammy when you're talking with people and you're in the DMs. That's when it feels uncomfortable. That's when it doesn't feel good on either side, right? That's when you get ghosted. And that's when you start really feeling that burnout, is when you're just constantly obsessed about that sale. Obsess about your business and the infrastructure instead of obsessing about your network marketing company. That doesn't mean that you can't grow and rank advance and, build a strong income with your network marketing company. If you take a step back and you do it in the way of creating a brand for yourself, because your network marketing company is not your brand, and when you do it in a way of building a business that can add value to people and has an infrastructure that you can offer more, that's when things can really start to grow. And that's when like the power of building a business online just becomes, exponential. And that's where things can really change, because you don't have to obsess about that sale. You feel very less obsessed about making that sale with your network marketing company, and you feel more obsessed about truly just helping people, right? So it's one of my favorite things, and it's how I built my business these last several years in a way that doesn't feel gross, that kept me out of the DMs, sending 100 messages every single day, that really helps me feel like I was building something of value, something that really truly helped people. And I was able to, gain leverage with everything that I was doing because of the infrastructure that I was putting together. So, anyway, those are my 3 tips for you today. Those are 3 ways that you can start really building leverage and start putting things together. And I really just, hopefully you found this helpful. I want to try to, add more value with you guys. And I'm hoping to be here at least every week to help share more tips with you. And I would love to know also what you guys struggle with. What questions do you have? Where are your struggles? And, what areas of things would you want me to talk about? Like what are areas that are important to you in terms of building your business? So anyway, that was it for today. I just wanted to talk about leverage and how it's so important to really get people off of social media and start thinking about your business outside of just social media, because social media posting every day, it's just not a business strategy. And if you really want to build that $1 million business, creating that infrastructure is where you need to be. So if you found this helpful, let me know. Hopefully those tips are great for you. And also, I have something for you as well. So I've got 2 things that kind of relate to today. One of them is a social media posting guide that can really help you start getting more engagement on your posts and start creating more sales from your posts. That's a free guide that you can download. I'll post the link below this video for you as well. The other thing that I have for you is if you are ready to kind of start putting together an infrastructure and you want to start with that lead magnet so you can begin building your list, I have a brand new course that I'm super excited about. It's the Unlimited Leads Camp. It's an amazing course. And literally we walked through together from the very start to the very end, and you will have a beautiful and, more importantly, optimized lead magnet that can really help you gain traction with growing your audience, building your email list, and then converting to sales. That's the most important thing, is converting to sales. And if you're going to use a lead magnet to convert to sales, it has to be optimized the right way. And that's exactly what we do in the Unlimited Leads Camp, is we go through and we fully put together. It's not a fluff course. This isn't something that's going to be very basic. We are literally diving deep into who it is that you want to serve, how this needs to be structured, the layout. I have 34 different ideas for you in terms of how this can come together, tons of, downloads and workbooks for you to go through to make sure that the lead magnet that you're putting together is going to be great for your audience. It's going to be fitting for your audience and your product and your services, and it's optimized for sales, most importantly. So I'll put the links for both of those below. And then if you have any questions, I'd love to hear what your struggles are, what you need help with. And, I'm excited to just get to know you guys and share the things that I've learned over the years. So you guys have an amazing Tuesday, and we will chat again soon. Bye, guys.